This is lesson 1-9, divide rational numbers. When we divide rational numbers, we're going to continue to use the same rules as we did for dividing and multiplying integers. If the signs of the two numbers being divided are the same, the quotient is positive. If the signs of the two numbers are different, the quotient is negative. Let's go to page 60 in our books. We're going to find each quotient. A, negative 7/12 divided by 1/7. When we are dividing by a fraction, we need to multiply by the reciprocal. You may know this as keep, change, flip. So we are going to keep the negative 7/12, change the division to multiplication, and flip 1/7 into its reciprocal. So multiplying by the reciprocal. And now we're going to multiply our two fractions. Negative 7 times 7 is negative 49 over 12 times 1 is 12. We have the improper fraction negative 49/12, and we need to change this into a mixed number. 12 will go into 49 4 times. 4 times 12 is 48, so I need one more to get to the 49 and leave my 12 denominator. So negative 4 and 1/12. For B, negative 0.05 or 5/100 divided by negative 5/8. We have one decimal and one fraction. So we need to make the decision as to whether we're going to do our work in decimal or fraction form. We're going to do this one as a decimal, and we're going to change negative 5/8 into its decimal equivalent. So we're going to keep negative 5/100, and we're going to divide it by the decimal equivalent of negative 5/8. So we divide negative 5 by 8, and we get negative 0.625, or negative 625 thousandths. Using our calculator, we can find the quotient of these two and find that is 0.08 or 8/100. Let's go to C. For C, we have 6 1/4 divided by negative 5/6. We have two fractions, but one of them is a mixed number. We need to change this mixed number into an improper fraction. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. 4 times 6 plus 1 is 25 over 4. And that is dividing by negative 5/16. So we need to remember, when dividing by a fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, or keep, change, flip. Keep the 25 over 4, change division to multiplication, and negative 5/16 into its reciprocal. And you can keep your negative on the top. I'm going to do some cross-canceling in this problem because the 5 and the 25 have a common factor of 5. So I'm going to divide out the 5 and divide out the 5. But negative 16 and 4 also share a common factor, and that is 4. So divide the 4 out, get 1, divide the 4 out, and get negative 4. This simplifies my problem into 5 over 1 times negative 4 over 1, and that is negative 20. All right, I am going to erase my screen a little bit so that I can get some of this work out of here. So we can do D. And D is negative 1 divided by negative 10/13. Whole number divided by fraction. Well, we need to make our whole number into a fraction. All whole numbers or integers can be turned into a fraction by using a 1. And we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of negative 10/13, which is negative 13 tenths. Multiply straight across, and we get 13 over 10. My improper fraction is equivalent to 1 3/10. Let's go to number 5 on page 60. Notice the layout of these. These are known as complex fractions. These are fractions that have fractions in the numerator or the denominator or in both. While they may look frightening, a complex fraction is a way to show division. A is showing us negative 2/7 divided by 1 1/3. When we see a complex fraction, our first step is to write it from left to right. Write it horizontally. Now we can apply what we know about dividing fractions. First, we need to take this mixed number and turn it into an improper fraction. So negative 2/7 divided by 1 1/3. That is equivalent to 4/3. Now we can keep, change, flip, or multiply by the reciprocal. Negative 2/7 times 3/4. If you want to take the time to cross cancel, you can, because 2 and 4 share the common factor of 2. So negative 2 factors to negative 1 and 4 factors to 2. This gives us the answer. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 7 times 2 is 14. My final answer is negative 3 over 14. Let's clear out our screen and do B. B, we have negative 3/5 divided by 2 1/4. Negative 3/5 divided by 2 1/4. Let's start with our mixed number. We have negative 3/5 divided by 4 times 2 plus 1, 9/4. Dividing by a fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, or keep, change, flip. Look at our problem, and I see a common factor between the negative 3 and a 9. It is a 3, so negative 3 will factor to negative 1, and 9 will factor to 3. This allows me to do negative 1 times 4, which is negative 4, and 5 times 3, which is 15. So negative 4/15 is my quotient for B. And the last one we're going to do together is C. Negative 9/10 divided by 1 3/5. First, let's write it out. Get it out of that complex fraction form. Helps it make a little bit more sense. Now, let's change our mixed number into an improper fraction. Negative 9/10 divided, let's see, 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8, over 5. Now I'm ready for multiplying by the reciprocal. Keep negative 9/10 and multiply by the reciprocal of 8/5, or 5/8. I see a common factor. 10 and 5 are both divisible by 5. So the 5 divides to a 1, and the 10 divides to a 2. And as I work this, I have negative 9 over 16. And that is my final quotient. For the rest of this lesson, I want you to complete numbers 61 and 62, and I will upload the answers to Canvas in 2 days so that you can check your work. If you have any questions, Go back and practice some. There are videos that I can send you, and I can also do a few more practice problems with you. Or if you need me, you can contact me between 2:15 and 3:05 on our video conference meet. Good luck.